Gamers, yes, it is I, Professor Misbehavior. I have a doctorate. Throughout the years, we've tackled many challenges. We've got the chicken dinners in PUBG, we've dunked on small children in Fortnite, and we've dominated the Call of Duty battlefield. But now, warriors, we face the greatest challenge of all. Something only a god-tier gamer like me has the gall to go up against it. And that is why today I am announcing I'm joining the Crossfire Pro League. Time to decimate the battlefield and become a god-tier Lord, VIP Lord among men. Where's my Shungite? This sucks. So at E3 2019 during the Xbox showcase, a game called Crossfire X was revealed. The game was a console sequel to a PC shooter, the world's most popular FPS. So high value that the campaign is being made by Remedy? I mean, they made Quantum Break for God's sakes! Quantum Break! I mean, they can't be serious when they say it's the most popular FPS game. I mean, there's like Fortnite and stuff like that now. What the fuck? This all piqued my curiosity. If it was so popular, how come I've never heard of it before? I did some digging and, here are my findings. Crossfire is a game by South Korean developer Smilegate. It was released in 2007 for Korea and slowly rolled out to different territories up to 2011. Crossfire was built on the Lithtech engine. It was the same engine developed by Monolith Studios and used in games like Fear and Condemned. From an outside perspective, this basically just looks like a bootleg Chinese version of CSGO. For 2007, this seems completely adequate looking, but let me just check the calendar real quick.
Oh yeah, it's 2020.
So many free-to-play games are available right now to play. I mean, there's Destiny 2, Warframe, Fortnite, Valorant, Apex Legends, Quake Champions, TF2. All of these are readily available and look just a tad better than good old Crossfire over here. It was an anomaly. What kept people coming? So, I decided to download the client, try the game out for myself, and find some answers. I just gotta go do that right now. Alright, so I got the client installed, everything should be good to go. Let's get this bad boy going. So, moving past that, the UI can seem a little bit daunting. It is. It's cluttered and confusing, but I'll try and make some sense of it. After you choose a server, you get to a list of games. We'll get to that in a bit, but let's go over this top bar first, where most of the important stuff is. Let's start with the item shop, which is pretty self-explanatory. You can buy new guns, items, characters, and cosmetics using two types of currency points. GP, which you get from playing games, and ZP, which is a premium currency that you have. You can use ZP to buy premium items. Basically, GP are pleb fun bucks, and ZP are Chad shekels. There are a fair bit of guns to buy with GP, but a majority of them are plain looking. Any sort of exciting gun has to be bought with ZP, or they can be rented with GP for a limited time, which just doesn't seem worth it. That leads us to the storage tab, which is where you change weapons and items and characters. Unlike CS, which works on a currency system, Crossfire has a loadout system where you can put your favorite weapons in your favorite loadouts. Doesn't matter if you're a CT or a T, everybody can use any weapon if you have it. Unfortunately, you only start it with 2 loadout slots, and if you want to buy any extras, you need to spend tons of GP. You start it with an AK and an M4A1, which are pretty good weapons that I'd say most of the player base still uses, so I'd say always have one of those in your loadout slots. Next is the mileage tab, which acts as another storefront that has a new type of currency called MP. From what I can tell, you get MP from playing continuous matches that fill up this bar, and when you reach certain points you get rewarded, and you can also get MP from doing certain missions on the side panel. With MP you can get those weapon rentals, but the mileage shop acts as one of the only places where free players can get fancy guns permanently. Neat! There's also some characters you can buy here, including, There's this one? One of the most important things you can get in the mileage shop are these upgrade kits. You know that dinky little AK and M4 you started with? Well, with these, you can actually upgrade them and vajazzle them up. It gives them fancy new looks and permanent upgrades like XP bonuses and extra bullets in a clip, which I think is a pretty neat system. It may seem a little pay to win, but you can get MP through playing games, so I think it's an alright system. Finally, we reach the black market, the bow that ties the free-to-play game experience together, loot boxes. Again, there are ZP crates which have the—
Oh my god, look at that thing, it looks epic! Oh my goodness gracious, look at that god, it's so colorful! Oh my god, they got Russians in this, bro!
And then we have the GP crates.
Oh, look, it's gold now.
I feel like I shouldn't really have to explain how these things work. You know how these work. Use them at your own discretion. Don't rack your mom's credit card for V-Bucks. I'm not a fan of these menus. They're unintuitive and overwhelming beyond belief. Everything flashes, there's so many options. It's like I'm going to a casino or something. You can get used to it after a while, but the basic stuff like options are just hidden away in weird places. Just to touch on the options slightly too, the game runs in stretch 16:9, but changes to 4:3 in menus, so the resolution is broken, graphics settings are vague, and there's no voice chat, which should be standard in multiplayer games for 2020. Granted, this could be because of the old engine the game was running on, but 1.6 came out before then, and it had voice chat. I mean, come on! Alright, it's time to get serious right now. It's time to focus in on the most important things. It's time to get down to the core of the game. The fucking game itself. The best way I can describe this is CS 1.6, but with a bunch of weird shit attached to it. The gameplay is essentially CS, accuracy is key, walking makes you quiet, crouching makes you more accurate, the standard shtick. It's easy to get into, difficult to master. There are a plethora of game modes to try out as well. You have your typical games like Search and Destroy, Deathmatch, Arms Race. They're mostly unchanged apart from weapons and maps. Maps are iffy to say the least. Sightlines could be better, layout needs work. The engine itself also leads to some issues, aiming can feel off at times, hitboxes are off, the sound design is also just— Alright, let's get into the weirdo shit. CS is half famous for its plethora of custom game modes made by the community. From Surf to Zombie Massacre to Death Run, these game modes are sometimes the sole reason people still play these games. Crossfire freeloads some of these game modes and makes them official in their game. Let's go through them! Ghost mode has an invisible player trying to hide from other players who are trying to find and kill them. Shadow mode is like Ghost mode, but with a team of invisible players instead of one. Super Soldier is TDM and Search and Destroy with a class system. Mutation mode has a team of mutants trying to turn the other team into mutants. There's Coin mode, Cops and Robbers, Horror Hide and Seek, Hero mode, Sheep mode, Knockout. I mean, just look at the list that they have on their website. The sad thing is though, is that like 75% of these modes are barely played. Most of the servers I saw showing signs of life were either some form of Search and Destroy, Deathmatch, or the last mode I'm gonna get to, Zombie mode. The best way I can describe zombie mode is like their own version of Man vs. Machine. It's waves of zombies and other monsters. They come, you get points for killing them, which you can use to buy upgrades. At the end, you go up against the boss, which has Kingdom Hearts level health bars. I mean, oh my god, it's like— I mean, these game modes are fine enough, but it's just so jarring to see these wacky fictional things being put on the same level as grounded modes like Search and Destroy. When these game modes are supported and created by the community, it doesn't feel out of place because it's the fans that made it, and it's a way to show their love for the game, and it isn't official, it's detached from it.
From my findings so far, I found a game that could have potential, but is prevented by a dated engine and a lack of quality of life improvements. Something still felt strange though. I needed other options. Opinions of people who have played for a long time, and people who have never played before. I was gonna have to go out into the wild for this. Not outside, no, that'd be stupid. There's like coronavirus out there. Someone could like tactically cough on me or something. This is dumb.
I first asked two fellow homies to give the game a try with me, Syvant and Korin. Syvant is actually a professional CS player, here he is at Katowice. Korin is a full-time game streamer. He's actually Pokemon's boyfriend.
But if anybody asks, I said nothing!
In the background is professional TF2 player Stiggy. Make sure to catch him on stream later as well. We played some rounds and I asked some questions afterwards.
This is terrible! I can't do this! What the fuck is happening? There's so many buttons here!
Maybe because it's shit game with shit UI?
He is literally sitting in the same corner the entire fucking game! And for some fucking reason, he has the advantage when I peek. Peeker's advantage. They got rid of Peeker's advantage! I can't believe it!
Come here, digital dancing.
What the? Whoa!
Kill him, just turn around, kill him. Good Waffle, turn around, kill him. Oh my god, Waffle's going crazy. Oh,
that's cool, Korin. Hold that angle, pussy boy.
well, I got flashed and backed off. What do you mean?
You literally cannot fight the CTs when they're watching T mid.
Yep, because we get a better spawn.
Yeah, you gotta. Not only do you get a better spawn, but the only place that we can peek you is that one fucking window, unless we decide to jump down.
Let's kill Yugoslavia. I hate Yugoslavia.
Got this,
Korin.
Korin, psych!
Korin, you win these.
Don't confuse.
Korin, you win these. They're defusing Korin. Oh my god.
Oh!
What is wrong with you? You're so bad.
House.
Oh, €1.
Stop the count. I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna go stop the count.
Only Americans do that. Buying pixels?
Yeah.
You can't uninstall it.
Okay, question 1. I think I know the answer to this. How was your experience with the game?
0.
Sure.
-10 if possible. It's fucking terrible.
Literal dog shit. And not just any dog shit, but like pure diarrhea. Like they fucking chocolate didn't properly digest and it's like fucking just like, you know, like spraying out the ass sort of dog shit, you know?
Alright, question number 2. Were there any aspects you liked?
No.
No.
Were there any aspects you didn't like?
Everything.
Everything.
Literally fucking everything. Like, I swear to God, I wish that this was something that I was just saying ironically because I disliked the game. There was nothing about that game that I liked. Nothing. At all. It was the worst game I've ever played. Absolutely the least intuitive UI I've ever seen in my fucking life. The gameplay is fucking awful. The process of installing the game is awful. The process of uninstalling the game is awful because apparently they didn't compile the uninstaller properly. So now we're fucked.
Korin? Alright. Question 3. Were the graphics a deal breaker for you?
No.
No.
No, I don't think they would be a deal breaker for me. I think I could play a game that looked like that if it didn't play the way it did. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's not a good thing. The graphics look like total cheeks, but there are people out there who play 1.6 religiously to this day, and I mean, I'm sure I could fucking play Crossfire if it actually wasn't complete dog shit.
Korin?
I don't think graphics matter in this case. Like,
Yeah.
if something's bad, it's bad. Like, I can play CS 1.6. I'm willing to play CS 1.6, but this, never again.
Okay, the last question, and I think I know the answer to this one too. Would you play this game again?
No.
And if not, what other games would you suggest and why?
CS 1.6 because it's infinitely better and it's virtually identical. If you want a if you want a game that is competitive like that game, like Crossfire, get CSGO. It is free to play. You have the skins, you have the trading, you have everything like that. It's available in China. It's available fucking virtually everywhere. You don't need to go looking for anything other than Counter-Strike. Fuck Crossfire. It's a terrible game. Terrible. Terrible.
Korin?
I would also say CSGO.
Riveting. Their opinions were fascinating, but I wanted to pull a larger testing pool. For this, I had to traverse a dangerous, horrifying jungle I had never explored before. Actually, so the Crossfire Reddit didn't work, so I went to the official Crossfire forums and the official Discord, which were much better. So I give my Reddit gold to the forum and my down bubbas to Reddit. I got about 11 responses to the questionnaire I made, and the results were rather interesting. I found a long-standing group of players, mostly from around 2010, so about 10 years with the game. Graphics and UI didn't seem to be much of a problem. I guess that's because they got used to it. One interesting result was that all the people that answered bought ZP and spent money on the game too. General consensus was negative towards the black market, most people citing unfair win ratios and the prize given out simply aren't worth it. The regular item shop needs more variety and accessibility for free users, no more rentals, and more weapons to buy with GP. People didn't really talk too much about mileage, but some said it was a good addition to the game, but is suffering from neglect. Core game modes were the favorite of most, with Search and Destroy coming out on top. However, some people did talk about the more exotic game modes and that they're rarely played now. When it came to gameplay, two problems commonly came up. One was broken hitboxes and neck shots. Neck shots are when you shoot someone in the head, but the game registers it as a body shot because the bullet clips the neck, doing less damage. The second was the notion that you could die behind cover. I asked some of my friends about it, and they said that this most likely had to do with lag compensation and latency. When you get shot, it doesn't actually register for a couple of seconds, so you could be shot, walk behind a wall, and then die suddenly to the confusion of the player. When asked about what other free-to-play games these players have tried, CS came out on top with Valorant and League of Legends in second. Makes sense to me given the shared DNA between Crossfire, CS, and Valorant. Someone also talked about a game called Metin 2. So, this looks to be a mod for RuneScape. My final question was to ask the community if they could change anything, what would it be? The answers I got really paints the picture of how I think the community feels as a whole. The community feels neglected by the developer. They're tired of busted weapon balancing, janky hitboxes, an abundance of hackers, stuttery FPS, the divide between free players and VIP whales, the fractured servers split between regions that locks content between barriers, an outdated engine that perpetuates these issues, and the relationship that the player can't seem to let go of. People have spent money on it? Might as well get the benefits of your investment. People have been playing it since childhood? Might as well keep playing it for old time's sake. People have created bonds on it. Might as well go back to it to play with friends. I don't mean to get somber in that last section, but after seeing the sentiments of the community, I get it. I mean, I've been playing TF2 since forever, and Valve is continuing to bury it in a shallow grave, but I still play the game. Unlike Valve though, Crossfire still has a very popular community, and Smilegate has the opportunity to listen to the community and do them right. I mean, there's Crossfire X coming out on Xbox, and then you have Crossfire HD coming out on PC. I guess we'll just have to wait and see and whether they take that second chance. I'm gonna keep reading the Wikipedia page, because there's like tons of interesting shit that's on here. Like, every time I read it, I see something new. The fuck? They're making a movie?